What up, Blue Devil Nation? Duke's Real Life crew here. I got Justin, Eric, and Taylor with us tonight, a special guest here. We are going to kick off our segment over the summer called Better Know a Blue Devil. Actually, this is what we're calling this segment. And we're going to look at the recruits coming in to 2020, which includes actually a transfer. So we're actually going to go through every single recruit. We're going to break down some film. We found some mixtapes on YouTube, and we're going to look at these, and we're going to compare them to Duke players that they're most like, where we think they fit into the lineup for next year, and give our hot takes. So, without further ado, Jalen Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, one of our biggest players here coming into the 2020 season, a 6'8" small forward, if you'd call 6'8" small, 12th ranked overall, and number 4 ranked player in the wing position, choosing Duke over the likes of Kentucky, obviously, yeah, Kansas, Florida, and Arizona. A stat sheet stuffer in high school, putting up 24.6 points, 4.8, almost 5 assists a game, and also getting it done on the boards here with 11 rebounds. Justin, what are you looking for here in Jalen Johnson? What do you like about him before we get to the tape?
So big things that I like about him is he is ultra athletic and he truly is actually skilled. Although he's listed as a small forward, he's skilled at 3 positions: point guard, shooting guard, and small forward, which is extremely exciting in a college basketball setting.
Yeah, I agree with that, Justin. He's also versatile on both ends, which also means playing on the defensive end of the court. And he has the ability to defend multiple positions as well.
All right, we're going to get the montage here as we go into Taylor's take. Taylor, your thoughts here on Johnson as we start watching some of the highlights.
Yeah, Justin, going back to your point with how he's very versatile and can play those 3 different positions. I've read that, he's too quick for those forwards, but then he's so big compared to those guard positions. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits into the ACC play where, he's going to be encountering those bigger sized forwards and quicker guards now. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to that.
And on exactly that point, to encountering the bigger guards and the bigger post players, Johnson here has the ability to finish through contact. We see plenty of evidence here in either case, whether he's getting to the basket or we'll see some mid-range game in a little bit. But here, showing off the versatility on the offensive end, being able to take people off the dribble, something that was actually kind of missing from this year's Duke team. Mm-hmm. And also his court vision here, sensational for someone with such size. Almost looks like a point guard out there on the floor.
Yeah, and I've also read that, it seems like he can be a cross between, looking back at former Duke players, a little bit of Tatum, Justice Winslow, and then even Cassius Stanley, maybe without the leaping ability that Cassius has, but, a combo of those 3 players that have formerly worn Duke uniforms.
And have some banners among them, too. Also, we're going to get a look here at the mid-range shot after the nice baseball pass here. The mid-range shot here, reminiscent of Trey Jones, maybe?
Yeah, but except he's a 6'8" guy, so it's a little nicer. Typically we see some of our taller guys come in and, they actually don't take a lot of jump shots, especially not mid-range jump shots. So it's nice to see another guy coming back in to do that again, because those players have been successful at Duke. Being able to pull bigger defenders out to, mid-range to the perimeter is an extremely useful tool, especially coming in as a freshman. And it looks like he has that ability, with these nice pullback and fadeaways. He seems to use that a lot in his game, or at least he makes them so they make the mixtape video.
Yeah, exactly. Also making the mixtape video there was the defense, which we actually got some complaints last year that we weren't showing enough defense on the mixtape. So there you go. There's your defensive portion of the mixtape as well, being able to protect the rim. Now, Taylor gave us some Duke players that he closely resembles. Any thoughts on where he might, how Krzyzewski might use him specifically in the lineup as we look, or how he fits in with the players that are returning, Wendell Moore, Matthew Hurt, for instance?
So he's certainly more athletic than Matthew Hurt and much more built than Matthew Hurt. Matthew Hurt just didn't necessarily have the size and the muscle to be able to handle any physical ACC play, especially anywhere in the paint. And he's much longer than Wendell Moore was. And I even dare to say, although Wendell Moore is very skilled, Jalen Johnson seems like a more athletic and scoring ready version. So more on the lines of a Jason Tatum type wing, of being able to get to the rim and make his own shot and score and be out in fast break. So I'm excited to see it because I think he's going to plug right into the starting lineup and is going to contribute a lot of minutes and is going to be potentially one of our top 2 scorers, at least based on watching his tape and reading what everyone has to see. I'm expecting a lot from Jalen Johnson this first year.
Yeah, and he has really good court vision. So if he can even initiate that dribble drive and then that kick out to Hurt or whoever else is waiting at that 3-point line, because we know that Duke has always lived and died by the 3. So can he get that dribble drive in, draw all the defenders, and then use that strong court vision to kick it back out to that waiting open shooter?
Oh my goodness, a harken back to all the way to like a 2010 team that used to live off the dribble drive, that penetration and the kick out. We can finally see that come back. That would be beautiful, and combined with some defense as well. Eric, to you, is Johnson a one and done?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I mean, if he is as high as he's ranked and coming in, I mean, I think it would be very unlikely that something would drop off that trend. Especially with who knows how the season's going to work out and the way recruits are going to behave with the ever evolving like NBA policy as far as, that players can go to, straight to the NBA or sit out a year or whatever. And then also like, who knows what the season's going to be like post, pandemic or whatever. But I mean, the projection of the level of talent he's coming in with, it seems like he'll be likely a one and done.
Anyone else have thoughts on that one?
No, I agree. He's probably going to be a one and done, and which is okay. Our hope is we can get as much out of him, and he can grow just in that 1 year and make everybody else around him better, so that all things permitting, that if there is an NCAA tournament next year, that we can actually go to it and make a pretty late run with it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he, assuming the season like starts in time, what that's like. Because a lot of we see these like guys' heights and weights and their athleticism when they're high school seniors, the early part of the year. That's kind of like the last week see video of them or hear word about how they're playing and their athleticism and physicality. But usually they show up on campus kind of during the summer and do workouts and stuff. So they're a lot of guys can show up in like get in a lot better shape, especially making that, the transition when you're 18. It's a really big time. Your body can go through like a lot of, changes to get better. I mean, we've seen those transitions like Ryan Kelly getting more athletic and a ton of other guys. So it'll be interesting to see how like the pandemic, whether he could be on campus working out with like the team and through the Duke program, how that might affect what he shows up like. But at 6'8", 215 pounds, athletic is a good starting point. So not too worried about it at this point.